Hey there, welcome to Coaching with Kayla, where it's all about helping you create a life you love, one powerful decision at a time. Today, I have a question for you. Is it time to get some better blocks? And you may be like, what? What are you talking about? So I'll explain. Decisions are like the building blocks of our lives, right? Like everything that we've created up until now has been a result of a decision that we made. And it might be a decision that we made on purpose, consciously, or it may be out of a habit that we've created, that at some point we were making decisions and then it just kind of became something that we did over and over again. What we have in our future is going to be a result of a lot of the decisions that we make now. If you think about it, pretty much everything that you have in your life can be traced back to a decision that was made at some point. Some decisions we make deliberately, consciously, intentionally, and then some decisions are default decisions. So some of those can still be made intentionally, but they're ones that we just kind of default to. Default decisions are really how most of us make decisions most of the time. Even if we make a conscious decision, it's still with the same thinking that we've always had. So we're still dealing with a few of the same types of blocks, but let's look at it. So default decisions are based on things that we don't want. That's how most people make decisions, based on things they don't want, things they're trying to avoid, either trying to avoid certain emotions or trying to avoid certain circumstances. Maybe they're based on emotion, some fear, maybe they're based on some anger. Then sometimes we have decisions that are based on like self-doubt. Sometimes we have a lot of decisions based on self-doubt. Sometimes we base decisions on our current circumstances or feeling like a victim. And there's other times where we base our decisions on other people's opinions, what they think of us, afraid of what they'll think, these little bitty blocks. And sometimes those are little bitty things, but what they can do, whenever we start basing our life's decisions on like what other people will think, then even though it can be such a little thing that stacks up, it makes it to where a lot of times when we try to build on top of it, everything is really unstable. So we have a lot of default decisions that are kind of haphazardly stacking up, right, to create our life. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a mess. Like life is messy. That's kind of how it is. A lot of times our decisions don't follow a whole lot of rhyme or reason other than the way that we've kind of habitually been thinking for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. A lot of our decisions are based in the moment, how we feel at the time, without any real design or intention. So if any of that resonates with you, I want to recommend that you consider getting some new blocks. And the blocks that I'm going to suggest are pink and purple Duplo. Just kidding. Your new blocks, your new decisions are going to have a foundation, a base. And although this base has wheels, that's a good thing because it's going to take you where you want to go. So you've got to have a base. And your base is what Jim Rohn would call your philosophy, right? It's the set of the sail. It's the foundation for all the rest of your decisions. And then whenever you have this base and you start making decisions to build the life that you want, it becomes a lot easier, right? Because they're not all exactly the same, but they all fit. And you don't have this kind of like haphazard mess. So you're making decisions that are based on what you do want. You know exactly why you're making the decisions that you're making, and they are in alignment with your philosophy and where you want to go. So when you're making decisions this way that are in alignment, that are congruent, that you know the reasons for, that are in alignment with your base, your life is going to start stacking up for you in a way that you love. And it starts one decision at a time. They all have the ability to build on each other in a way that makes sense, in a way that feels good and aligned and congruent. And when you do it that way, then you can go where you need to go. So think about your blocks. Think about how you've made decisions in the past month, year, 5 years. Think about the results that they've produced and see if maybe it's time to get some new blocks. If you're like, I think it is time to get some new blocks, but you don't know how to make this foundation piece, this piece that's going to help you get where you need to go, I've got you. I'm here to help. Just send me a message. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.